Ladies and gentlemen, our third catch of the night, Saint Social. If you like live music, the Gulf Coast Music Listening Room event at Spring Hill College is where you should be on Friday, October 10th at 7 p.m. For $10, come enjoy some originals and make connections with other music lovers. A listening room is a respectful environment for the sole purpose of observing great music. As of now, no alcohol or any other outside substances will be permitted. To buy pre-sale tickets, use the link in our bio and show us your receipt at the door. We'll have t-shirts. See you guys there. I'm sorry, but we're closed. You look open to me. Do you know where that's from, Red?
Oh, shit. Oh, that's from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? No.
And that's Clerks.
No. Oh, it's Clerks. That is Clerks, isn't it?
No, that's probably a quote from you.
No.
So
What?
that's from the comic book that you appear in.
Oh, that is from Konax, from Anthony. Anthony's comic book he drew.
Cool.
Yes, that is true. I totally forgot about that.
That was Clerks.
And
I love how I was like, what did I even say it was from? I don't know.
almost gave up the family tree.
Anthony would be happy we talked about Konax on here. You should, anyone, if you like comic books, you should check out Anthony Haddix. He's amazing.
Very talented.
So I think in my first impression of you guys, that quote is kind of symbolic of you guys as a band.
Yeah.
And that the way that you promote the events that you go to, like if it's rained out with like it seems like it would be closed, but we're always open.
Yeah, we're always open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get into the comic book?
Oh, so me and Anthony are best friends. Like he does all our poster art for us.
Right.
All our t-shirt designs and everything like that. So he always likes to throw me into random. That's not actually the first comic book that I've ever been referenced in. As a matter of fact. Yeah, there was Image Comics. There's
This is one of many.
a comic called Bomb Queen, and I became online friends with the creator of that.
Oh, that's cool.
And my online handle was Red Hollywood, and he put me as a casino. He made me a casino in one of them, and a cat taco special in the other one.
Come to find out, Red was originated in a comic book.
Yeah.
Chicken or the egg. Yeah, so break down Red and the Revelers, the Swamp Soul. It's a really cool concept.
Yeah, man. It's just a name I gave to it because nobody could figure out what we were. No, it's just Mobile is a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of different stuff, and my writing is kind of that because that's my musical background is so all over the place. You know what I've done. You know, I was trained classically. I had a punk phase. You know, I had grew up singing Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding and stuff like that. So
Good stuff.
I think just, you know, when I set out to write, I just write, and I'm not like looking to write a specific style.
Mhm.
And so when you add these guys into it and you add Ross's bass lines because they're so unique and everything, it just makes this like the best I've ever heard described as like a gumbo of music, of sound. And so I say Swamp Soul because that swamp to me is that's what that is. That gumbo is just that swamp of all that stuff mixed together. Almost like a suicide after a baseball game when you're in Little League.
Okay.
And you're like, give me all the sodas, you know? And you're like, oh, it's surprisingly good, you know? Unless you get the one that is out of carbonation.
No, I appreciate the way you described that because I think any band, when they come together, you're bringing in different flavors no matter what.
Yeah.
And the fact that you accepted that and described it as Swamp Soul, I haven't seen it anywhere else, so it's really cool.
Yeah, there's a couple other people that have used that term before, and I found online, but it wasn't something that like I'd ever seen before. I'd heard swamp pop and swamp rock,
Right.
you know, but I'd use the soul because of how I sing. You know, I sing more soulfully than I do like
Right.
rock singing or, you know, whatever you would describe.
For sure. And the brass instruments as well.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's what draws
yeah.
the people in.
So
They
ever
want the
since
brass knuckles.
yeah, ever since I was little, You know, I grew up, you know, like Wilson Pickett and James Brown and Otis Redding. And I said, you know, if I'm ever going to do a band again, I said, I got to have a horn section, you know, because it's just, there's nothing like it, man. It's just, I don't like playing solo anymore because it's not fun. It's not fun without you guys.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.
Welcome, guys, to the Gulf Coast Music Podcast. Today's new wave, Red and the Revelers.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, my name is Alvin King. I'm a trumpet player in the band.
My name is Brian Fulmer, and I play saxophone.
I'm Ross Graham, and I play bass.
So, I want to say that you guys are the first band that I've had on with a brass section. How is it incorporating trumpet and saxophone into traditional band?
Most of the stuff that I write, like I have it in mind when I write my music. You know, a lot. You know, it's a driving force of the music. You know, I felt like for the last several years, horns have taken like a back seat as being like an auxiliary instrument that's just added as like spice or just a little sprinkle here and there. You know, and I mean, and all of it's tasteful and all of it's good, but you know, it was never like it hasn't been the driving force besides like maybe third wave ska music, you know, ska punk music, and, which still is around and still has a strong following, but it's not like really in the mainstream. Like it's not 1996 anymore. But so having like real horn driven music, you know, is something I wanted a lot of, and so it's, you know, I feel like it's also changed the landscape of music in Mobile since we've started. You know, you see a lot of bands that didn't used to incorporate horns. All of a sudden, now we're adding a horn player every now and then. And
Right. How long have y'all been a band?
it's been about 6 years now.
I joined on the 4th of July on 2019.
Nice. So the Red and the Revelers way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, it was about 2018 was when I first started. Like I was solo, and at the end of that, I had like Alvin and a bass player named Troy Cooper, and our drummer was Shaggy.
Hey,
And we miss Shaggy. We miss Shaggy. He was our first drummer, and
Y'all have like a Scooby-Doo presence.
yeah. Actually, yeah.
It wasn't a bad name.
Yeah. And so, but you know, so that was 2018. But like Red and the Revelers, like was 2019. The first like real big gig was the album release, not the album release, but the single release party we had. And matter of fact, the very first iteration of anything was Greg Padilla and the Soul.
Yes, and I was in
And
that.
Ross was in that, and it was a thing we did for a show called Jed Fest, which they had.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jed.
Rest in peace, Jed. And it was, my wife got us that somehow. We were doing an open mic somewhere, and she came back. She was like, "You're playing Jed Fest," and I was like, "Okay." And so I was like, "Well, I need a band," and so I put a band together, and Ross was part of that, and then Nate, our first guitarist, was part of that as well. And then it just slowly evolved into this. And
We need to go back to Jed Fest. They still have it?
no, they don't have Jed Fest no more.
Speaking of festivals and performing, the big news announcement.
Yeah, so we finally got the Moon Pie Drop gig. We're opening for Morse Day and the Time, which I'm real excited. Oh. Jungle Love, baby.
Jungle Love at midnight, baby.
And so I'm really super excited about not being the band that has to play at midnight. That's great.
Somebody's got to put the kids to bed.
Yeah. No, well, yeah.
I have to go see my dog.
Yeah.
All them fireworks.
But it's so Morse Day and the Time, that's a huge band to open for. We're really excited about that, to add them to the list.
How do you think you got the gig?
Just, you know,
We bribed him, man. Absolutely, 100%.
we didn't bribe anybody. No, No, man, we just, we've been around for a while and we've been touring and
We've been working really hard.
and it's just been one of those things that like they've had their eye on us before, but it's just the choice, like whoever you're having the headliner, you want the opener to make sense with them. So you're not going to put us in front of Clint Black. That's just doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it made perfect sense with Morris Day and the time and the city council. They vote on who gets to open. And so, they look at our EPK and our music video and all that and stuff. And so, all that marketing and all that stuff. And so, Josh got back to me and said, hey, y'all, y'all got the show, and everything. And then you iron out all the details and everything. But it's awesome. I've been wanting to play the Moon Pie Drop for a while. And so it feels really good to finally get it.
Music feeds the soul, but food feeds the future. Right here on the Gulf Coast, thousands of families don't know where their next meal is coming from. Feeding the Gulf Coast is changing that tune one meal at a time. Imagine this. For every $1, you can provide up to 5 meals. That's like turning a quiet solo into a full-blown jam session of hope for someone in need. Let's turn the volume up on kindness and down on hunger. Visit feedingthegulfcoast.org to donate today, because together we can make sure no one goes hungry on or off the stage. Feeding the Gulf Coast, because every community deserves an encore. Whoa, 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 don't let the dogs out. The City of Mobile Animal Shelter has many loving pets ready for a nice home. Whether you're looking for a dog like Snoop or a cat like Doja, the City of Mobile Animal Shelter is where you can find your next friendly companion. They're located at 855 Owen Street, and you can stop by anytime between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We all need a little bow wow in our lives. Call 251-208-2800 because the City of Mobile Animal Shelter has you covered. That's 251-208-2800. Roof. Man, yeah, it's obviously a standard that you're able to hit with that. I saw you guys tore it up at Callahan's, and that was fun.
Shout out, Kevin.
Hell yeah, man! And fitting all those guys, it was like the video just kept going. And it kept going.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a lot of people.
it's wild to play Callahan's because there's so many of us,
Right.
and it's such a small venue, but I love it because it reminds me of the house shows I used to play in punk bands when I was like 19 and 20, and just getting that energy of just everybody's right there in your face. There's nowhere to go. You can't escape the music. You can't ignore it. You can't.
Callahan's kind of puts you on the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a part of it,
Right, you gotta
and
swing back.
Yeah, and there's no stage. You're just right there in it. You're in the fight. You're in the middle, and I like that.
Gotcha.
There's a very good chance some drunk person is going to fall onto you while you're playing.
Irish pub.
But I like it.
My favorite memory of Callahan's was I got my brown belt in jiu-jitsu there. I looked up and I was like, there's one of the guys from the gym. Oh man, there's 2 guys from the gym. Wow, the gym's really coming out to support me. Man, all my buddies, I'm getting hyped and everything, getting ready, and all of a sudden, whop, I feel a smack on my backside, and it was my brown belt.
Me. Oh no!
And they awarded it to me.
That was the other time.
Yeah, that was how we. Auditioning for the band was a tough process, but I made it through.
The audition.
100%.
I didn't have that audition.
No, that's really cool, man. Is that typical of the passage of?
Yeah. Usually they smack you on your back or whatever. Right. And I just never had seen a bell promotion in a bar before. It was very different, but it was very cool.
Did they coordinate with them beforehand?
No, I think everybody just showed up, and when we're getting like
guerrilla style.
Guerrilla style. It was Operation Dojo Storm. Absolutely. Shout out to 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Mobile.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Sweet.
How long did it take you to get your brown belt?
I been there about 10 years. I've been. It took me about 8 years to get it.
Wow, bro.
There. On the slow
you're
bus.
slow.
Real slow. Bro, I'll tell you, my first jiu-jitsu one was in 2005. So
I get winded
winded
climbing the stairs, so don't listen to me.
He's going to the pace of an Otis Redding song. That's all.
He's our internal security.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, man, that performance looked awesome. What's y'all's favorite green room memories from Callahan's?
That they have one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Eating Callahan's food in Callahan's green rooms.
That's so good.
we don't really we're not like green room hangers very much. Do you have a memory of the green room from
Just that patty
Callahan's?
melt, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I play it like. Well, nah, I better not talk about that one.
No. We have good green room memories. Like there's the time we played at Dueling Hall. It was us and Abe Partridge and the Red Clay Strays. So that was a pretty amazing green room movie. And we came downstairs and it was sponsored by Cathead Vodka, and there was like
Yep.
40 pints of vodka.
Tried that honeysuckle for the first time.
Yeah, it
and I
was,
like, this could be a problem.
Yeah, it was a lot of liquor. Sometimes when you, yeah,
Alvin, I want to get you in on the pod. You mentioned a story of Quincy Jones. I really like the story. Please reiterate it.
Well, it's a
Get him to tell
It's-
you about getting a
it's-
photo with Wynton Marsalis.
We'll do that after.
Yeah, man, absolutely. He's a legend, baby.
listen, man. I when I met you and you said your name was Quincy, and you was like, "That's the only Quincy you ever known." I said, "Well, actually, I knew two." And I said, basically, when I was graduating from Tuskegee University in 1999 in mechanical engineering, and so our band was down on the floor, and we performed a song called "A Soliloquy for Trumpet." And I still remember that beautiful song. And then I got back, sat back down. So Quincy Jones was our keynote speaker. And man, when I tell you, he got up there and he started talking. And he went on for about 20 minutes. And I kid you not, no disrespect to him, but we didn't have a clue what Quincy was talking about. Man. Mr. Jones, we didn't have a clue what he was talking about. And one of my buddies was in the band. He was sitting a couple rows over. He looked back at me, and I knew when he made eye contact, I was a loser. So we in the seats, and all the little snickering going on. But one thing I do remember out of that whole ordeal is that by the time I got up to get my degree and shake the president's hand and stuff and shake Quincy Jones' hands, he remembered that I was the trumpet player that played. And he used to play trumpet. And I didn't know that until after I got off the stage and somebody said, "You know, Quincy Jones used to play trumpet."
Right.
It's like,
I'm
wow.
surprised you didn't talk about that in that 20 minutes.
Right.
I mean, he
He was like, and it was some trumpet player.
yeah, he was rambling so much, man. I want to go back and watch the video because that was an interesting speech.
Right. You said he was talking about his flight and
Yeah, flight and then
breakfast.
what he had for breakfast and what happened. The TV didn't work that night. Then he got there. It's like he was having the conversation.
You guys are great, by the way.
Yeah, his speech was like the side conversation before he was actually supposed to make the speech, trying to tell somebody what happened that night before.
The TV remote didn't work.
Oh yeah. Well, Greg didn't expound onto the fact of how he kind of collected several people. Greg walked up on me on one of my jazz gigs. I was playing at Kazula. A random dude coming up said, "Hey man, I need a horn player for my band." I was like, "Okay." And I kept playing my jazz gig. And then he showed up how many times? Twice?
I don't know.
Because
but
Sergio showed up once.
it was very obvious that I did not belong in that bar either. The way I was dressed.
And we playing jazz because I had a jazz band and whatnot. And then so I told my wife about it, and she was like, "Well, he's asked you a couple of times. Why don't you just go? You'll never know." And man, I went to that first rehearsal, and I was hooked. I told him, I said, "Man, thank you." And I was brushing
How
him
many
off.
times?
It was at least twice because I think Sergio came up the first time or the second time. It was
I
you-
went
you.
and saw you twice. I
Okay.
remember for sure.
And you told me about it. I was like, "Yeah, man, I need a horn
The
player."
second time, I don't think.
Yeah, I need a horn player for my band. I was like, how many times have I heard that? I've been playing trumpet for a long time.
Right.
And it's interesting you said like some of the other bands are changing the landscape. Not only are other bands starting to have other instruments like horns and stuff like that and sax players, we also get called to perform with other bands. They'd be like, I don't know if you're playing with Red this weekend, but I need a horn player if you can do it. I'm like, oh, let me see,
Yeah.
But that's one thing that having horns is like the icing on the cake, and we call ourselves the brass knuckles. We added a power pack punch to the band. Greg
especially at brown belt.
Yeah. Greg is baking the cake, man, and we putting the icing on it. The rest of the guys are making cake.
Red and the relentlessness.
There you go. Red and the. We had so many.
Yeah, we
Fan page name.
Hey fighters, listen up. Are you tired of feeling like your conditioning holds you back in competition? It's time to bridge the gap between theory and real performance. At Dexter's Fitness Center, we're launching a combat sports strength and conditioning program designed for boxers, kickboxers, MMA fighters, and combat athletes who want to get faster, stronger, and more flexible while building the endurance to go the distance. No more outdated workouts, no more burnout. This program is built to enhance your skill work, prevent injuries, and maximize your potential without wasting your time or overwhelming your body. Training starts August 12th at Dexter's Fitness Center, 1900 Government Street, Mobile, Alabama. Sessions are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. If you're ready to step into every fight confident, prepared, and in peak condition, call 251-709-2654 or email contact@dextersfitnesscenter.com today. Let's build the fighter you're meant to be.
Is this broad labor? I'd like to talk to you about the possibility of moving a couple of things for me from my daughter's house to my garage.
And then past the Callahans, recently you had the Dog Days.
Yeah,
And that
so
looked super cool, man.
Yeah, so we got hooked up with that through our producer Brian Collins, and he knew Mark, the owner. It's he owns like several restaurants and bars up in Osage Beach, Missouri.
Right.
And so he brought us out 2 times this summer for these events they had out there. And the first event was like this. It was the Canine Cannonball.
Yeah, dog jumping.
Yeah, it was like dog jump. I watched it on ESPN a long time ago when I was younger. But they like the dogs run and jump into ponds. It was awesome. And and then and then this last time it was the Loto Shootout, which was like drag boat racing. So it was awesome, dude. There were so many like $1 million boats.
So many boats.
There was billions of dollars in boats. I mean, like there was thousands of boats going by all day.
Right.
Yeah,
I think
it
the
was
fastest one was like 242 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was they
the
broke
race
a
was
race
across the bridge from where we were playing, but
yeah, they said they got
it all on YouTube.
Yeah, they got a jet ski up to 121 miles an hour.
Jet ski?
Yeah, dude got a jet ski, and I was like, bro, that's like death. Just waiting to happen.
That's unsafe.
But it was cool, man. We play in like the front of this like big like MTV
That's
spring
that
break
Swamp Soul
style
for real.
pool. Yeah,
The water is hard when you first hit it.
yeah, it's like concrete.
Right.
But it
You found out what your Swamp Soul is made of.
yeah. So we like going up to Missouri, man. They put us up and
Yeah, man.
we play the same place like 3 days in a row, which is always awesome.
That whole venue, as you were describing with the resort, I mean, it just looked packed. It looked like a 70s movie of how they described like everybody was outside and having a good time. Like I feel like you never see that nowadays with
Yeah, dude, there was a lot of people there.
right.
A lot of people
Just
there.
enjoying
And,
the pool. And,
yeah, it was fun, man. We had a good time. We always enjoyed those type of gigs going on the road and stuff like that. We love going on the road.
yeah, man. How do you guys typically schedule?
We usually schedule about months in advance.
Right.
I have the places that I know we book. We try to go to the same places over time to build audiences in those
Right.
in those towns and stuff.
Over the 6 years, like what's kind of the pacing of adding a new spot to the list of?
It really just depends on like where we're going or what opportunities come up. The challenge is having a band this big is finding spots on the road. There's
Hotels, you mean?
well, no, not just that, just venues that have the money to support it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? There's a lot of areas of the country that don't pay near what the Gulf Coast
Really?
pays musicians.
Yeah, we are a bit privileged down here.
Really? Speak
Yeah.
on that, please.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of places like Nashville or New Orleans where you go there and you just like playing there. It's like the privilege of playing in there is your payment. And here, like bands are getting at least triple digits.
Yeah.
Like they're not getting anything below that.
Yeah. So it's, there's Gulf Coast really is one of the highest paid areas in the country for like musicians, especially like working musicians.
Gotcha.
And it's mostly because it's high tourist areas, so the demand for entertainment's a lot higher
Right.
than other places. But, a lot of cities, they don't like to pay as near as much. There's some places that I don't even know how musicians are getting by. I'm just like, I don't know how y'all do it. But, we add places when, what we've more focused on to now is like larger style event style gigs, like for cities and stuff like that. We do a lot of city gigs, working on festivals and stuff, and getting out of the bars, a lot of less bars and more into bigger crowds and stuff like that. So
Yeah, cool. Brian mentioned that you guys were really hardworking. If you could elaborate on that, and
oh yeah, well, I mean, brother,
We put a lot of energy into our show.
we put a lot of energy into our show, and no matter how long it is.
Right. Yeah.
We can play 4 hours. We can probably play 6 hours, to be honest, and if we wanted to, but we don't, and don't get any ideas about that.
You gotta
People
really
listening.
pay.
Yeah,
You gotta really
it would take
pay.
it would take a lot of money to get me to play 6 hours.
And we'll have a gig the next day.
Yeah, lots of money, really long breaks.
No gig the next day.
Yeah, no gig the next day. But it's we're real high energy. We say all gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
And it's even the slow songs they have energy. And I feel like I don't like going to concerts where people just stand there. I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate going to see favorite bands of mine that I love to hear their songs, and then there's like no energy. The show's not there. I love to record music, but I love to perform music more than I do anything else.
Right.
And so, I would be fine never recording another album and just having people come and play live and recording live albums for the rest of my life. That would be fine with me.
what was the Mud from the Bottom or Mud Bottom?
Oh, the Mud Bottom Revival.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a crazy story.
that is there were some
We were
crazy
the
stories.
the main event that night.
Yeah.
No
So
one, the story as I'm telling it is that nobody wanted to follow us. We came on that stage. We were so awesome that they said, no, we don't care. We're going to have to let the people sleep before we can come back the next day. And that's how it was. God himself said, nope, y'all are done. That's it.
yeah. So we got done.
100%.
We got this. It's probably the biggest festival we've ever gotten, just out of the blue, and it was because we played at Dooling Hall, and the guy that owns it.
Yeah, that was the Mud Bug Fest.
Mudbug Fest. Oh no, you're talking about Mud Bottom Revival. Sorry.
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, Mudbug Fest was the very first like big festival we played. It was the first day we played on the first day. It was supposed to be us, the Drive By Truckers, and Brett Michaels. Yeah.
They didn't want to come after
And
us,
so,
man. I'm telling you.
so
They
we,
didn't want to come
no,
after us. We were too good.
we got done. No, they were great guys. Great guys.
We were the opening
We got done playing and the bottom dropped out, dude. Lightning came down from, I'm talking one of the worst lightning storms I've ever seen, dude. And so Truckers immediately got canceled. I was so upset because I've never seen the Truckers live, and I was going to have the absolute best seat in the house, like side stage, watching the truck. Yeah, dude. But they came out while we were playing. We looked over and they were standing side stage watching us play, which was cool. And then all of Brett Michaels' guys were actually on the front rail. They came down the front rail and watched us play, which was awesome. But so both of those bands got canceled. People got really pissed. And there's a bar right on the big lawn called Smoot's Grocery.
Did I lie?
And Alvin and our drummer at the time, Warren, said, "Hey, man, Smoots has all the equipment." Because we played at Smoots before.
We walked over there
yeah,
first.
Yeah, he walked
to
up.
the owner.
Yeah, which that was a whole story in and of itself, which we don't have time to get into. But so they go over there. So, okay, we're a local band, right? At this point, we're definitely a local band. We're maybe a regional band at best.
Yeah, we didn't have much regional
notoriety and so
at that point.
we act like a local and regional band. So when everything was kind of up in the air about if Brett Michaels was going to play or not, like a majority of the people in this festival went and congregated at this bar.
Yeah, and Smoots didn't book anything because they're like, all the music's across the street. Everyone's just going to be over there. And then it all got canceled.
Yeah, and so while we're waiting to see if Brett Michaels is going to go on, my sister and my cousin are in that bar, and they're like, "Come hang out with us." And we're like, "Cool." So we walk out, and we're walking down the main, like it's like a big field. It's at the end up here, and there's a whole line of vendors. And as we're walking by, they start a standing ovation as we walk by. We're just like, "What the fuck is going on?" You know, like, because we're like, okay. And so we're like, "Thanks." And they're like, "Y'all are so great. Thanks. Cool. Yeah." And we get up to the front of the bar, and there's like a sea of people out front in the parking lot. Hundreds of people. And like trying to wade through people to get to the door, you know. And so we walk up, and I notice a couple of people start double taking, and then somebody up near the door goes, "Red's here," and he points down, and everybody stops and turns like a movie and starts applauding. And you would have thought we had just come back from destroying that asteroid in Armageddon. And like two dudes were like parting the way for us to like get inside. And we go inside and like we signed autographs and took pictures and stuff for like an hour or something because people, their perception is we just came off a giant stage. We were on Jumbo because we were on Jumbotrons and stuff. Like it was a big festival. And so they thought that we were like hot shit, you know? And I was like, and so we did that, and then it came time, they're like, "Oh, they're going to cancel everything." Right. And Alvin's like,
"Man, we got to give these people a show."
He was like, "I'm going to go to," he was like, "What if we did a secret show? What if we just played a set at Smoots all of a sudden?" Because everybody's super excited about it and everything like that.
Yeah, and all the other tour buses had pulled off, and we were still there.
Yeah, and we were still there. And so, and I was like, I'll ask the owner of the bar, because I knew the owner. I was like, "I'll ask the owner of the bar, and you go ask them, and we'll get it going." And so they got a sound guy to come down, and they started spreading the word. And so we get over there to set up.
It happened really quick.
And yeah, really fast. And we get in there. I'm like, "I don't have my strap." Well, so I didn't like my guitar strap.
He's going strapless.
Yeah. And so I had to go out to the van. So I go out to the van, and by the time I get out to the van, and I come back to that side door, there's so many people that I can't get back inside the building. I'm talking like there's like 10 or 12 people deep from the door. There's probably another 100, 200 people outside trying to get in that door. And so I'm going back, and I'm just like, "How am I going to get back into play?" And this police officer was like, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be playing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're not going to get in there." And I was like, "No." And he goes, he points to these other two cops. He goes, "You and you come with me." And he just starts like grabbing people by the head and just starts like moving them out of the way. And just like, they're like getting pissed, you know, because some dude's just manhandling their way until they see that they're trying to get me inside. And then they're like, everybody's cheering, trying to get inside.
Yeah.
So we go inside, and dude, that place was nuts. Well, there's a video of it. It's on YouTube, and it was crazy, dude. I mean, like that.
So the drive-by truckers were still there.
They didn't come to that show. They were there. They got on their bus by that
They
point.
just got off. And
Yeah,
and y'all were still like,
Yeah, and they.
One of the guys showed up at Smoots and heard us for a little bit. Maybe one of Brett Michaels' guys.
I think some of the Brett Michaels guys came by because
Gotcha.
I ended
They
up
said
being
we
good
had a
friends
great
with a
show.
lot of them.
how
Yeah.
late did y'all stay there?
We played for like another 45 minutes. We weren't playing long because they had to hire
feeling, though,
they
man.
had to
That's
hire
incredible.
they had to hire cops to come back out. And dude, it was amazing.
Does life get any better than that feeling?
No, it does not. And then on Monday morning, I was at work at 7 a.m. like just at work like
Right.
normal, like at my computer, just like none of that happened. You know,
Yeah, man.
it's a really weird
Not all
kind of
superheroes work
dichotomy, you know, of life. That
Right.
like,
You can hear the buzz in the room at work.
yeah, because nobody at work gave a shit.
Right. Oh, did you do
Yeah.
your little music thing on the weekend?
yeah. They like, and I'm like, I got to meet,
Right.
Patterson Hood and and shit, and like the next day we went back the next day and watched because it was the next day was the Wild Feathers, Lucas Nelson, Lucinda Williams, and Cody Jinks.
Jeez,
So we went back the
man.
next day and we hung out with them. Yeah, dude, we hung out with them and yeah, dude, it was wild. So I was standing side stage with the Wild Feathers and Cody Jinks and Lucas Nelson watching Lucinda Williams. And then Lucinda Williams comes off and Lucas Nelson comes on and we're watching him play. And my wife comes up with two small redheaded girl children. And I'm like, where did you get children from? And she's like, this nice lady's super pregnant. These are her kids. And they're friends of Lucas. They wanted to come up and watch,
Right.
So I was like, cool. So we danced with him and watched his set, And they went back, and then a guy I know knows that girl, and he's like, "You know who that is, don't you?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "That's Hank Jr.'s daughter." And I was like,
The power of music.
I said, "Hank Sr. I just played with Hank Sr.'s great grandkids."
right.
It was a wild weekend, and then you go back to work, and it's like,
Let me see your hands.
We're gonna rehearse again.
yeah, it's just
And then we gotta get those guys again and see if we can get the drive-by truckers or Brett Michaels to let us open up for them. Period.
I mean, are y'all at the point where like a event like that doesn't phase you, where you just get up there and you're just excited, you're just ready to kill it?
I mean,
I've
it's
never had
all
a stage fright.
Never.
Never.
How?
I don't know. It's just very natural for me. It's like what I'm supposed to be doing. If I was paralyzed
man.
from the neck down, I'd find a way to whistle or something. I would find some way
Got it.
of making music. I will say. So it feels like what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, I got over stage fright a long time ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
It happened in high school pretty bad, but after that, it's just like, especially if I'm playing in a band, like, even if I have a little bit, as soon as I hit that first note, it's gone.
Yeah. This is
Just
what
kind
we
of
do.
forget where I am.
This is
A
what we do.
little bit of that.
Yeah.
No, and I'm just kidding.
No, contrary to popular belief, I still get a little bit of stage fright, but I get with Red in the crew. It's not necessarily stage fright because I know we're just about to go bananas,
Man, yeah.
And I get more stage fright with my jazz band than I do with these guys, and
right.
that crowd is more relaxed, just waiting, comfortably.
I was gonna say, man, like having a guy like Red that's just, it would seem like you have some larger than life features about you, Persona, right?
And he can actually sing too.
Puts people at ease.
The first time I really realized he could sing, we were in Birmingham, and we had been together.
I love how he played with me that whole time.
We were about 3 or 4 years. We were together all about 3 or 4 years at this point. We were up there in Birmingham at 5 Points. I forgot the name of the place. Dave's. And so for whatever reason, I could really hear Greg singing that night. Because usually we playing our horn parts and locking it in. We're like, whatever he's doing, that's okay. We make sure these horns are bop, 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 bop. We're there, right? I heard you were singing Tennessee Whiskey. And then you changed, what was the Etta James to Tennessee?
I'd rather go whiskey.
And that particular night, that's when I actually listened to Greg, and he thought I was just joshing him at the end. I was like, dude, you can really sing. He was like, okay, man. we together for 4 years at this point, you know. I was like, but that was my first time truly listening to this guy open up, and he had the crowd on a string.
Oh yeah.
Anything he was doing was perfect, and we just watched it, and I watched it.
Took
I
over.
saw him become a different person that night.
That's cool.
And I've always respected him on a not respectable level, but no, I'll get it. But
I've never heard that one before.
but his musical ability as far as singing that night captured me, and I was already bought into it.
Right.
I've been bought into the Red and the Revelers thing. Like I feel like any day now we're shooting to the top. You know,
Man, I love. Yeah, y'all are some dogs. It seems like y'all just got a different energy. Y'all aren't scared. You know, my dad is from down the road, Louisiana, as they call it, which the stories sound like they're from down the road. You know, like when you hear down the road, it's like the lowest point of Louisiana where it's close to the Gulf, and you know, you got some characters. You know, you got some characters that make great stories, and you guys. You know, feels like I'm talking to the guys who made those stories. You know.
Yeah, man.
got the wizard.
I've always people say like, you know, you don't want your band to look like you just rolled up and dropped off a turnip truck, you know. And I've always thought, you know, that's kind of what we kind of look like sometimes. It's like we
Yeah,
just
I've definitely been at gigs wearing overalls and no shirt.
yeah, and so you look like you roll off a turnip truck, but
That's your
You
look,
know,
though.
the thing is-
The thing is, if you play really well, no one really cares what you wear after you play
Yeah.
well.
I like it because anytime we go sometime for the first place, people always underestimate what we're gonna sound like. You know, they're never ready for it. They never.
Yeah.
Y'all just got that chip. Huh?
We just waiting for the like.
It's like who's this bunch of random dudes?
Let's go.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I don't. You know, I've had guys tell me you need to go to the thrift store and look like 70. Like they want. Everybody wants the Allman Brothers again. You know, that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants the Allman Brothers to rise back from the
In
dead.
this town, yes.
and be alive again. I mean, that's the style that all the guitar, you know, they push that, you know, that 70s style, bring it back where the bell bottoms, where the, you know, and I'm just like, that's not who I am, you know,
Got a single pair of big
and
bottoms.
everything in this
I
world,
never have, and I'm the hippiest one.
yeah,
of all y'all.
most entertainment and everything is all fake. You know, most Instagram is fake. Most TikTok is fake. It's all staged. It's all designed to get you to press buttons and do everything like that. People want something that's real. They're starved for reality. They're starved for truth. And I have to be true to myself. This is how I dress. This is how I like to dress. This is how I'm comfortable. This is how I feel comfortable with my skin. When I get on and play on stage, I'm not there to show you how cool I look.
Right.
I'm there to show you how I feel, to show you how excited I am, or to show you what energy I want to give you at that moment, that connection I want to make with you. I want to give you something that you're going to go home and go, I can't believe what I just saw.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. Tell me about some of your favorite. I mean, you already broke down the great performance with the crossing the street into the new venue, but are there any other moments that stick out to you?
Yeah, dude, when we opened up for the Whalers in Pensacola, that was a show that the energy level was just off the charts. You know,
That crowd
we
was
only got
35 minutes.
30 minutes, like it was like 35 minutes is all we had. And it was a completely sold out crowd. I mean, it was
There was no
completely packed, and people, by the time we were playing, people were still trying to get in. We had fans that showed up late trying to see us that completely missed us, you know, by that point, because they weren't able to get into the building quick enough. And it was funny because they had us, like, there's a stage of the vinyl, and we stood right behind it, and they have all the lights off. But people can still see you back there because they're kind of wrapped around. Right. And people were, like, real hyped. And they saw us, and they started, whoa, you know, and we poke our heads up, and I was like, man, they're going to be real upset when we walk on stage, and it's this fat Mexican dude. It's none of the Whalers, you know? Because I was like, they thought we were the Whalers, you know? And so they play us on, you know, and we walk on, and the stage lights, and everybody goes nuts. And I'm like, oh, they think we're the Whalers. And then we start playing, and dude, like, even after like every solo, you could barely hear the next solo because everybody was screaming so loud. dude. I mean, it's just, and we just went as hard as we could for 35 minutes without stopping. I mean, as fast and as hard, and I mean, and just gave him as much as we could. And we got a lot of new fans that night. But it was just, it's probably one of the best performances we've had, just because of, I mean, that crowd just gives you, it's a feeling like you can't, it's a drug.
And where was that performance at again?
At the Vinyl in Pensacola.
Oh, gotcha, man. Yeah, I mean that's just kind of embodying that gumption. You know that they're like, all right, we got to go out there and kill. Like, do you guys huddle up before?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We're all real good friends.
Having that chip on your shoulder, man, and then executing.
Yeah, it's you know, you got to get that energy out somehow, you know, and it's go ahead.
I just got to say this real quick, because anytime Greg tells us we only have 1 hour, I know everybody in the band, my ears perk up, because I know in 1 hour, because we can go 4 and 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're about to compress in that 1 hour for you is about to be absolutely insane. It's about to be insane. Yeah. Even for us, we're going to look around like, oh, shit, you heard that? You know, but when he said 35 minutes, oh, man, we were bursting. That's why when we were peeking around the stage and they were like, oh, that energy was transferring to us. And as soon as we got on the stage, it was unleashed, man. That was that night I almost crowd surfed. That was my first time. But I couldn't dive far enough over that rail. That
was
that
crazy.
Space.
They
If
had
they
a
were
space.
closer,
That was the
I would have
first
been on top of somebody's head.
And still,
Yeah.
Oh, he never
I
gonna
would've-
stop.
I would be like, man.
Old trumpet. Take the old trumpet.
but like trumpeting on top of the crowd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would have been crazy, man.
I really wish that would have happened. Really wish that would have happened.
Man,
But yeah, but saying that, we get an hour at New Year's Eve, so get ready, Moby.
Once we give a downbeat, we're coming hard. We're coming out swinging.
All
We,
gas, no brakes. Woo, woo!
we're gonna punch with sound.
Yeah.
let's go, man. No, I love you guys, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that performance, and with the music that you're working on, original music.
Greg's a really talented songwriter.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him.
Songwriter. He really is. And he can sing. It really does help. It helps when you have a talented songwriter and a good singer.
Tell me about that process, getting the band to work on the songs, and
Man, it's real easy. It's real easy. I'm the type of songwriter that, you know, like, I don't feel I write songs as much as I'm just discovering stuff that already exists in the ether, and I'm just kind of tuned to it. Because sometimes songs just come, and I look back and I think, how did I come up with that? And I can't remember. You know, it's just, it's one of those things that, like, I just kind of, I'll hear something and I'll start stuff a lot of times and I know it's not going anywhere and I'll just throw it away. And then, you know, I only finish what I feel like is worthy of being finished a lot of times. But, you know, as far as, like, you know, I'll have an idea for like horn lines and stuff like that and I'll run them by. But, you know, I know what it's, at this point, we've played together so long that when I write something, I know what it's going to sound like once I bring it to them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my guys, you know, and that's what makes everything so great is that, you know, I can just start something and they just pick up on it and it's exactly kind of what I want.
Yeah, nothing of what you write is all that technically complicated. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, and like just organically, it just comes together real easy.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I'm not one of those writers that, like, I'm not looking
theoretically complicated.
Yeah, I'm not trying to change how music is written. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm trying to make songs that are memorable, that touch a person in a way that, I think one of the things that I've always said is I want to write the soundtrack to the memories that you never want to forget.
there you go. That's good. But put that in a song.
Yeah. So that's my aim in life. Is, you know, I want to write songs that are for those moments that, like, are special, or the, you know, the nights when it's Friday night and you are feeling real good about yourself, so you roll down the windows and you put us on and you're driving, you know, to go downtown.
Or you just get off your 8 to 5 and
Yeah, it's time to relax. It's the weekend time, you know. It's, you know, it's first kisses. It's, you know, it's weddings. It's
First baby.
yeah.
Making the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, if I know I've succeeded in life if I ever have anybody come up to me and be like, my child was conceived to your music, and I'm like, thank you, I've brought life into this world.
Red and the Restless.
Yeah. Red, more like Red and the Rubberless. He had a kid.
Yeah, do you ever factor in like the other band members whenever you're coming up with lyrics? Like you're like, oh, he's gonna like this one. He's gonna like.
No, not really, man. Lyrics are just kind of like I will fool around with something a lot. Sometimes I'll write lyrics and don't realize what I'm writing about until
What you
later.
got, Alvin?
He's 14 years old. He'll be fine.
I gotta tell this real quick.
Brian, you can tell them.
All right.
How long have we been together, and how many years that we'll be like, we're playing the name of this song, and I'll be like, what song is that? And you'll be like,
Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, I got it. Absolutely. That's it.
and-
Alvin
and-
does not know the name.
I don't know the
any
names
of the
of
songs.
half of the songs
Gun
that
to
we
his
play.
head, he's not giving you the names of these songs.
but I know how to play them if he
100%.
just like.
He
it's
just needs the
what-
first couple notes. That's my job.
and
That's
then-
tell Red what the next lyric is.
Right, and so then Greg is when he just said about I don't know when I write the lyrics. It's not whatever they think.
He's not worried
I
about
don't know the
Alvin.
lyrics to like almost any of the songs.
You know, Don't Give Up, Baby.
My job is to make sure we killing on the horns, and he's killing, we killing, and it's so funny you said that because I thought about it. I said, man, I went for a long time without not knowing a lot of names of the songs.
Oh, I know. You don't
But-
know any of our
But
songs.
as soon as the drummer start or when y'all counted off, I got it. Brian will say, oh yeah, I got
It
it.
needs a couple notes, man. It's like name that tune. Just needs a couple notes.
That's funny, dude. That's yeah, you guys are like a sports team. You know, there's always like that one wide receiver that kind of looks around like, what did he just go?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go alone.
It doesn't help that I don't make set lists a lot of the times either.
Solos are always interesting. It's just the last few seconds he'll throw the name out there, and you got to be ready.
Really?
Yeah, I like to change it up.
Yeah, it'd be like, Alvin!
Yeah, because sometimes I don't
You
check.
3 measures late. Trying
I
to
just
get back.
assume y'all are ready.
Yeah.
No.
That's cool stuff, man. Well, what's next with the originals?
So we are getting ready to release a vinyl. We have we have a couple of singles out online right now, but we have a whole bunch of music on that vinyl that's going to be coming out. I was talking to our producer about it today.
Is it a compilation or it's a new music only?
No, it's all just new music. It's all.
I'll buy it.
It will. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it'll be great. It's called Real Big Deal. It's gonna be awesome, man. We put a lot of work in. It's been a long time. Our progress was real slow. Our producer tours a lot, and so we kind of have to wait till he comes back off a tour a lot to work on it and stuff. And so, but they've been real good to us, and they've put in a lot of time and effort that is unpaid on this because they believe in it, and so we're they're even still working on it now. I wish they would finish, but they're still working on it. I love you, Will and Brian. I love you to that. No, I just want my album to.
Do they like send you versions of it along the way?
Yeah, they will. Yeah, and then they'll tweak it and they'll send it back. You know,
You're like,
and,
this is good. This is good. Don't talk.
and a lot of times it's tweaks that I'm like, yeah, of course, yeah, I guess it's there. You
Right,
know,
right.
it is.
Right, you hear the 0.2 decibel change.
You got to fine tune. You know, make everybody happy, and but everything they've put out for us is always amazing. You know, they even added stuff to our songs and that and kind of shifted them in little ways that made them amazing. You know,
Right.
and so we got real lucky that we got the opportunity to work with them, and so that's
Yeah, and I mean, Will Turpin was the bass player for Collective Soul, and his dad was the owner of that studio that we're in.
yeah.
So he just found us at Brickyard one night. They played Soul Kitchen, and then Will walked in there and with some members of their opening band, I guess, and went up to Brian at the bar during a set break, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm in a band," and Brian was like,
Yeah, well, I'll take over. I was sitting over by myself, and he came over to me and was like, "Hey, I really like your band." I was like, "Thank you, buddy. We're about to have another set." He goes, "I play in a band." I'm like, that's awesome, man. You know, what do you play? He's like, I play in Collective Soul. Can I buy you a beer? Well, yes, sir. You can absolutely buy you a beer, and I need to get you in touch with Greg as soon as possible.
Right.
Man, but it was very cool. He was very humble, came up to me and was just like, hey, man, I really like your beer. I really like your beer. I really like your band. Can I buy you a beer? And I was like, yes, and while you do that, I got to go get Red to talk about how we make something happen. He's like, we want to record you. I'm like, you are speaking my language.
Yeah, he really liked our music, and then a few months later, we were up in Jonesboro, Georgia, just south of Atlanta.
Right. I think music, I guess in any arts industry, you see that humility that comes with the business. You know, it's in good ways. Like you'll see good humility at times where it's like in that scenario of meeting somebody randomly and then them addressing who they are and helping you out. So
Yeah, it was a godsend. You know, it really changed our trajectory a lot.
Really?
You know, well, I mean, brother, he's just provided access to meet and work with people that we would never have access before.
Yeah, they had a bunch of #1 hits, so they got some connections that we definitely don't have.
My sister is very impressed that I know Collective Soul. Absolutely. I will say my beloved sister is very impressed. That's her claim to the name. My little brother knows Collective Soul.
Yep, we do.
I name drop all the time.
Yeah,
I know Collective
yeah, but I
Soul.
mean, they like our single Shattered Lives, like they got Jesse, their lead player, to do some work on it, and then he got Daniel De Los Reyes, who plays with the Zach Brown band, to do some percussion work on it and stuff like that. And so at one point we were gonna get what is the harmonica player's name? I'm blind.
Lee Oscar.
Yeah, Lee Oscar
a
from
legend.
Moore. Yeah, from Moore. He's one of the
Yeah.
best harmonica players in the
Jam with the
world.
Grateful Dead bunch.
And he was gonna record, but our time frames didn't line up, and so it didn't work out. But I got to go up and hang out with him and to go to a little private concert and go to Waffle House with him afterwards, which was cool.
Waffle House is the best part.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, the Waffle House is always the best part.
Is that the go-to spot on the ride home from a show?
Oh yeah, usually
Whataburger.
unless it's downtown,
Whataburger.
because I live in Chickasaw, so that Chickasaw Whataburger gets a lot of late night orders for me. A lot of bacon,
what's the
egg, and
go-to?
cheese biscuits
Let's go.
at
Sweet and spicy?
3 in the morning.
Sweet and spicy burger?
No, not at 3:00 in the morning. I'm always go breakfast food.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, because that's too much food to put on your trying to go to sleep. Well, that probably help me sleep better.
Man, that's all I've got. Do you guys have anything else that y'all want to put on the table?
We should definitely tell them the story
Give it to
of when we almost died from a tornado.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Good old Arkansas.
so I'm from Arkansas originally, and so we go up to Little Rock and Hot Springs area, and we play a lot up there. So we went up there one time, and we were at this one part of the city, and our keyboard player was like, "I need something from Guitar Center."
Mic clips.
And mic clips, yeah. And so we knew there was a storm in the area.
tornado sirens were going off and everything.
They weren't scared at all, man.
But it was just like, oh, it's not. It's
fine,
like
this
you
is
can't
normal.
possibly come through where we're
never seen a
going.
tornado.
Yeah, all the
Life,
even the
there's
people
no way
around
I'm
us,
dying
it was
that
like
day
this
from
beer
one.
fest that we were playing. Like even they were just like, yeah, that's no big deal.
It never
And
does.
so and it wasn't raining where we were at or anything. So we were like, okay, so we drove and we get all the way to Guitar Center and we pull in the parking lot. And we get out, and everybody's standing outside looking. And I'm like, "What's everybody looking at?" We get out,
Probably the dang tornado.
and I look up, and I start filming, and I was filming us just like walking into Guitar Center, and I look up, and there is a giant funnel cloud, like right, you can see
Yeah.
the stuff spinning in
Yeah,
it,
man.
and I go, "Guys, that's an actual tornado. We need to get inside." And so we all go inside, like, and they take us in the back of Guitar Center, and they're like, "This is the exit to get out because like this building is not going to survive this tornado." Like,
Gosh.
so, and it's coming like I'm talking like it's like
No, but they didn't think that was funny.
it's
one
within
bit
200
when
or
we made that
300
joke.
feet of us. You know, it's within like 200 or 300 feet of it. It's not far. And we're all in there, and I'm like, and I'm strangely calm, but I knew in that moment, I was like, within 5 minutes, we're either going to be okay or we might be dead. Like it was that, and luckily it like skipped over and went over, but it ended up being like One
man
of
went
the
live.
worst tornadoes in the state.
Yeah, the southern part of Little Rock got
It got
It
destroyed.
was on a documentary.
Got destroyed, and so
There was a documentary.
There's another one coming out supposedly.
Oh wow.
I've been contacted about it. I can't really say anything else about it right now, but they want to use our footage.
Let's go.
But
Yeah,
so our
Associated-
TikTok went viral.
Yeah,
So we went back. I
You just
posted.
had, like the tornado right in front of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never
So
seen one. It was
I
right
posted it
there.
on
Yeah,
TikTok,
I'm
and
from
we go to
Oklahoma,
play
I've
the
never
set,
seen one.
right? We go to play the.
Feel it?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We heard it.
I wasn't there yet.
It was
I was on
loud.
the road headed.
My man
Yeah.
went live on Facebook.
No, and I didn't go live on Facebook.
Yeah, you did.
I just make TikTok.
no,
They were like,
you
"Don't
went
do
live
it."
because Tanya was. I was
No,
like,
they said,
tell her
yeah,
I'm.
Oh yeah,
live.
we were
tornado.
inside
I was
Guitar
like,
Center.
What? I'm still on the road. What?
We were at Guitar
I'm
Center
okay.
live on Facebook. But so we posted that TikTok and we come off our set and I check my phone and I'm like, oh, it's at 60,000 views. I'm like, oh, that's crazy, you know? And so we're sitting there and we're talking and I look again and it jumped like 80,000. And then all of a sudden it just kept going up and kept going up. And then I get this message from this lady and she's like, I'm from the AP Press.
Right.
Can I talk to you? And I was like, okay. And so she calls me while we're on break between this thing, and I'm out having an interview with this lady. She's asking me she's like, is it okay if I quote you in the AP Press?
What
And
did
I'm
you
like,
say?
yeah, that's fine. And I didn't think anything of it.
What was the quote?
Oh no, she just asked. I was talking about how we were a band, and because she saw,
"Oh
she was asking about the
Are you
clip
open?
of the TikTok of us being at Guitar Center, and I was like, we're a band, and I told her about our band, we're on tour, and I told the story about how we ended up in the Guitar Center, and so like months later, I was just like, I wondered if they ever printed anything about that. So I Googled articles, and that's when I remembered that people in most newspapers take AP Press and they just pull it out and like copy and paste it and put it in. So our band and band name, and I was quoted in pretty much every newspaper in America.
Associated Press is a big deal.
Yeah, and like New Zealand, I think I found a reference to us in like some Japanese newspaper or something.
Became Mr. Worldwide overnight.
Yeah, but nobody knew. Like it was just kind of because it was just weird. But like, nothing ever came of it or anything. But like it was just we almost died in that tornado.
Should have told them to follow the music.
Oh, I did. I mean, it was in. I mean, it's a newspaper. They're talking about the tornado. They're not talking about us. It's kind of tacky. Be like, by the
We're
way,
talking about it.
World famous Red and the Revelers were almost captivated by
Yeah.
It's like that gypsy woman said, I was going to die in a Guitar Center. It's like the
you're
gypsy
waiting in
woman
the car
said.
every
Yeah.
time we go in now.
I was driving from Tennessee. I was coming in from Midway, Tennessee that day. Was that? That's not the same.
Yeah, no,
time
that's
I
it.
drove home.
Yeah, you drove home that night and almost got in a tornado on the way home.
Yeah, it's the 17-hour drive day you had. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he drove from Tennessee 9 hours,
Yeah, East
Gets
Tennessee,
there.
Little Rock.
plays the gig, and then leaves and drives home right after the gig to Mobile another 8 hours.
My daughter's prom was that Saturday. That
The next,
Saturday.
that next night.
Next night.
That's a super dad.
And I had to make it home, but I was going through some part of Mississippi. I was going through some part of Mississippi, and there was all this trash across the highway and stuff like that. And then all the emergency trucks was showing up, and people would stop that way and this way. And they said a tornado had just came through that way. And I took pictures and sent it to them. But had I been there maybe 5 minutes earlier, whatever, I mean, it was destroyed. But I made it. I actually got all the way to an hour and a half away from Mobile and had to stop and take a nap. And I just closed my eyes for I think I closed my eyes maybe 30 minutes, but I got up and that's really all I needed just to pull over. And I made it home. My daughter had a good prom that night.
Did y'all perform "Rock Me Like a Hurricane"?
I don't know that song.
That's right. Man, I really appreciate you guys for coming on. It's
Oh, yeah. Thank
really
you for
an
having
honor.
us, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Stay in touch with the Red and the Revelers. Catch them in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles!
Or Las Vegas.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next wave.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.